What's up, y'all? I'm Vay. This is my best friend Amber, and this is our cousin B. We're having a mukbang, a seafood boil, and we're doing a story time about how I found out I had endometrial cancer / uterine cancer. I want to say that I lost my friend the beginning of last year, and I was going through a lot of stuff, and I was depressed. My fiance ended up leaving. A couple months later, I ended up finding out, I didn't find out I had cancer yet, but I was bleeding a lot, pouring out of me, and I'm thinking it's just because, I'm stressed out. When you get your period and you're stressed out, you bleed a lot sometimes. But I bled for like 2 months and a half, and it was just pouring out. I ended up going to the emergency room. They told me that I might have a hormone imbalance and something in me is not triggering, the blood stuff. So I thought well, maybe that can be it. Here I made an appointment to see a doctor to get a pap smear, but they didn't want to do a pap smear on me. They wanted me to get
ultrasound?
Pelvic ultrasound. So with a pelvic ultrasound, they kind of set you up like a pap smear. Imagine this would have been my first exam ever. I'm a virgin. But this would have been my first exam ever. But they set you up like a pap smear. And they do like an ultrasound on your pelvis. So with the ultrasound, they found a polyp on my uterus. Now, usually the polyps are benign, which means that they're not cancerous. That's what they tell you. They said I ended up getting surgery. They scraped it off my uterus. They sent it off to be tested. So a couple days later, I ended up getting a phone call from my doctor, and he said, "Miss Pearson, the results came back and you have endometrial cancer." Now, me hearing that just made me think about, my friend having cancer and her losing her life so fast because they didn't know that she had it and they cut her open and stuff. And the only thing I could think about is am I going to live? That's what was going through my head. I didn't tell nobody that day. I didn't go to work. I stayed in my room. I cried. It messes you up mentally. So I ended up telling some of my family, and after that I had, what did I do after that? When I found out, they ended up sending me to an oncologist. Ain't that what it's called?
Mm-hmm.
So I had to go to an oncologist, and she basically said, yes, you do have cancer, and you only have a couple options. So my options were either I get a hysterectomy. Now, mind you, I am a virgin, but I do want kids. And before all this, I've been thinking about carrying my own kids. She said you might not be able to have kids,
For your care.
and you might have to have a hysterectomy. I'm like,
Which they take out everything.
right.
Your uterus.
See, but with mine, they wanted to just take it off the
Certain
uterus
stuff.
and not everything else because
Okay.
they didn't want me to go into menopause really.
Okay, I understand.
Now, with that, I'm like, I never heard of surgery before, and I don't want to go through that. If I can avoid that, I can do that. The other option was for me to take pills called Megestrol, and I have to take 2 pills a day, one at night, one in the morning, 40 milligrams. So it's basically 80 milligrams a day, 60 pills a month. That was my only other option, and I went with that option. After that, me taking the pills, I had to go get an MRI to see if the cancer spread. They wanted to see exactly where it was at and if it spread or not. So I had an MRI results came back that it didn't spread. I still had to take the medicine, which is a good thing that it didn't spread, because it can spread to your lymph nodes, everything. I was on the pills for a couple months, and with me, you know, having cancer, I have to have biopsies every 3 months. So up until recently, well, no, I'm not even gonna talk about that right now. I'm gonna talk about what I've been going through. I've been dealing with depression, like just me feeling like don't nobody care what I'm going through. He just, well, you know, just going through what I'm going through. Like you would think that family would,
We care.
like reach out and stuff, but I didn't get that. Even me telling them my situation, I could be down and they wouldn't even know. Like that's just what my situation. Like I'm feeling like damn, like, that's crazy. I'm going through this down by myself. Like strangers is hitting me up saying how I'm doing, and my family's not even hitting me up. Or close friends ain't even hitting me up. But you know, I had to think like, listen, right now that don't matter. The people who's here, like that's who matter, and you ain't got time to be worried about that because you're going through a lot of that. But I am still dealing with depression. It's a lot to deal with.
Man.
Like you going through with having cancer, and the whole time I'm thinking like I'm probably going to die. Like this is what it is. I'm trying to think positive, but it's hard to think positive. Like,
It is.
I just watched somebody die from cancer. Like how? Like why am I going through the same thing? Like why did she go through it? It's hard, and then you don't really have no support. Like there's times I didn't want to get up out the bed. I didn't get up out the bed. Not eating, feeling sick all the time.
Nauseous.
Because the medicine that I take, I can't really move my bowels. So I have to take other stuff to help me do that. I can't really sleep on the medicine. It's a lot to deal with. For real. And I never thought I would be going through this. And I didn't ever think that I would really be going through it. Like, kind of by myself and dealing with depression. I thought that I wasn't depressed, but I was breaking down so much. Eventually, I'm like, I gotta be depressed. Like, I had to come to the terms, like, this is what it is. Like, I'm depressed. Not coming out my room. I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't want to get up. I don't want to go to work. I don't want to do nothing.
I called and checked on him.
For real, I gave up on painting. All the stuff that I love to do, I gave up on. I feel like I gave up on it. But recently I had I'm gonna go back to like just people not being there. That really messed me up. Like that messed me up mentally. Like I just can't imagine not being there for a friend or family. But it is what it is. And up until recently, I had a biopsy, which was terrible. They don't numb you or nothing. They go in, they cut something off your uterus, and they test it. But I got it tested. They said that everything is negative for cancer, and I still have to. That's great news. It made me feel a little better because I was, dealing with depression. But I have to still be on the pills up until my next biopsy, which is in 3 months, and then I guess we'll, go from there. I got any questions?
Good news.
You got any questions for me?
You feel like you have more of an appreciation for life now?
Good question.
I do. Yeah, that's a great question. I do feel like I have a.
I mean, not that you wasn't appreciative
Listen.
before.
I do, and it's sad because listen, me going through that, I was supposed to be like losing weight. I didn't even want to do that. Like, I didn't have the energy to do that. Sometimes I couldn't even get up out of my bed. Like, but now with the great news, it got me up. I'm out walking and everything. Like, it's,
Give you motivation.
That's good.
It do give me motivation because I feel like I can beat it. Right now, I'm winning.
Yeah. You're blessed.
Yeah,
How did your mom react when you told her the news?
No, it's crazy. I dropped it on my shirt.
Because I would have been scared to tell my mom.
I didn't tell her that day. Only person I told that day was Sadie's.
Yeah.
When she cried, I felt so bad. Like, she was like real distraught. I felt so bad. And that's my cousin, but she's like my sister. We like this.
Somebody love you.
She been there through the whole thing. I felt bad, but when I told my mom, like, she was sad. But she like, I'm going to all the appointments with you and all that. And I kind of feel bad because the first appointment I had, I really didn't know what to say. I didn't know the questions to ask because I was so like out of it. Then when we went back to my house and my aunt and Sadie's was there, you know, my mom's trying to explain to them like what's going on or whatever. And I'm like going back and forth with her like, Mom, like that's not right, because I'm like frustrated with everything. I didn't mean to be so like, you know, kind of ignorant.
You're going
But
through a
I'm
lot,
like,
emotional.
it was crazy. Like Mom, I didn't mean to, you know, do it. I know she
don't take
what
it
I
like
was
that.
going through, but there was a lot to deal with. It was. It definitely messes you up mentally. I'm just laying there like, damn. I'm not gonna be able to accomplish everything that I want to accomplish.
And now
This
you're
can't
rest.
be it. I can't be going through this. Like, what did I do to deserve, you know, this?
You just gotta think positive.
I'm trying
Keep
now.
pushing through.
I'm definitely trying now. I'm still going through what having, you know, dealing with depression. But me just getting that good news is just gonna push me. Hopefully it stays this way. Yeah, I understand what I'm saying.
Are you okay?
Yeah, we just want to know if you're
Oh,
okay.
my just again.
Oh my God. We're gonna pause the video. We're gonna edit this part.
Amber's going to have to do the Hamlet.
What's these
Right.
eggs?
Cause she over here choking.
Well, trach tube, girl.
I'm a nurse.
Baby's our nurse.
I'm a registered nurse. You okay?
Mm-hmm. That was terrible. I might get it in there. That's my story. Shout out to everybody that got the cancer awareness wristband.
Yes, I love
Supported me.
part.
Through my journey, I appreciate y'all. Like, it really, really means a lot. Shout out to everybody that check on me and stuff like that. Pray for me. I appreciate y'all because I need it. Y'all make my day when y'all reach out.
Check on my best friend.
I
Check
love
on my
y'all.
best friend.
We about to go in on this food, have some drinks, and
Yep.
you know, do our thing.
We having fun today.
We out.